Well, nothing really doing yesterday in the Champions League as expected, but you'll note two over 2.5 goal matches. Is that something for us to take note of this evening? Insurance, our big friend yesterday in the Championship, one standout match, Sheffield United 0, Millwall 1. Taking out Insurance, regardless of how strong you fancy the team. This stage of the season, nerves, I think, for Sheffield United. A win could have taken them top yesterday. Millwall, they'll be happy with this because it's only 3 points now between them and a top 6 place. So one of those incredibly important matches for both teams. Insurance pays out. Excellent stuff. Elsewhere, not much else. Derby and Burnley always going to have 0-0 at the back of your mind there. Derby's wins recently have been 2-0. Burnley, renowned for keeping it tight. So I wasn't going to be taking that 0-0 on. But some late 0-0s as well. Stoke and Luton was a good call on Telegram if you got on it. Luton Town, vitally important for them to get a point yesterday. And this is where you make your bucks. 91st minute. Lovely job. Look what difference this point has made. Psychologically, they're now on 40. So they're in the same points grouping as all teams 14th to 23rd. More importantly, they are within a win now of Cardiff and Derby, with Derby dropping points. Cardiff dropping points as well. So didn't do it themselves too many favours. Could have done with a win yesterday. All of their main rivals drawing. So it's as you were. English League One. Nothing much doing yesterday. We did look to take on Wycombe late on. And again, Desmond 2-2 there, Mansfield and Leighton Orient. I'm disappointed I didn't get that one to you in time. Second half 2-3 difference. A win makes for these two vital. Chesterfield and Gillingham again, possibilities with an equaliser there, but League Two, I do tend to get in trouble. Bolton and Rotherham, insurance pays out yet again. This was one-way traffic. Peter Kay will not be happy with what he saw yesterday. Absolute. Look at the red on the left. 36 total shots. But compelling defensive display, although pressure in the second half. Vast majority of chances in the second half. 7 corners as well. But insurance gets us out of jail. Looking at the tennis, there was 3 plays for me yesterday. Davidovich Fokina, I think, Ben Shelton, I think this was yesterday. Quite simple, trusting the market. Ben Shelton won the first set. Davidovich Fokina won the second, and I'm out. This is to £40 stakes to give you an idea of the returns, risk-reward ratio. Greek sport and fees. Now this is interesting. Why would I get involved with, all right, Arthur? All right, Terry? How you doing, son? All right, Arthur. How are you, Arthur? Arthur Fils is a Frenchman in France, losing the first set when odds-on favourite in a tiebreaker. All of the ingredients to take on Talon Greek Sport. And it's a marginal profit. I got out when, all right, Arthur won the second set. It's a third of liability as a reward. Macaque and Bayers, again, trusting the market here. Macaque and Bayers, you can see the entry point, I think, was a very reasonable back of Macaque. Odds of 3.75. Thought those were pretty good odds. Very tight service games. This is one way you could use the live in-play stats is to look at the tightness of the serving games in the first set. Does it suggest the match will continue to be tight a little later on? Thompson and Tsitsipas was another play. You can see there quite clearly. Thompson winning the first set, Tsitsipas 1.13. He can be a little unpredictable, Stefanos Tsitsipas, but when he's on, he's on. 7-6 first set, Frenchman in France. Tiebreaker, as tight as you can get. Cue the feast recovery. I could have stayed in and taken a fuller profit, couldn't I? Waited. But this is like the football, like going into the match odds. Do you wait for the win or do you cash out with the equaliser? So it's a similar vibe to football. It's just different angles of attack, isn't it? So let's have a look on to today from a soccer perspective. Champions League dominates again, and I'm not going to put any opinion at all. I would be unsurprised if Aston Villa were to break through away from home. This is something you'll note recently. They did it against Preston in the Cup. They did it last weekend away from home. They do have 2+ goals in them, Aston Villa. It's a deliberate tactic by Dick Emery with Europe in mind, I would suggest. Paris Saint-Germain have been superb, but I think they're a tad short. As indeed, I think of Barcelona in a one-off affair. These odds are far too short for me. Value is to lay these sides if they score first and early, Barcelona PSG. Elsewhere, do we have any remnants of English football? No? Yes, we do. Championship today. So we can look at each of these three in turn. Oxford United and QPR. First point of call is the need for points. 45 with Cardiff in 42. It's a very, very tight bottom half of the table. It's a relegation 6-pointer, arguably, for Oxford United and QPR. It's also must take your points off a nearest rival as well. QPR will try to contemn Oxford today, keep them within striking distance of Cardiff, while QPR scamper up the table to possible 14th place. It's 60, which is important for the playoffs. They're way off the mark. They're just looking at safety, I think. So it's an important match, QPR and Oxford, as far as getting away from that relegation zone is concerned, but it's an extremely difficult one to call. Swansea and Plymouth. Watch out for Plymouth. They are another one of those sides in desperate need for points. 40, as I told you with Luton yesterday, big incentive. It's psychologically as well important. You don't want to be the only side left in the whole league under 40 points. So it's going to be an important match. Swansea, 48, got to break into the 50-point barrier with a win, takes them to 51. With Middlesbrough on 60, it's a long trail to the playoffs, but 3 points would help, particularly with all this lot dropping points. West Brom, I think, dropping points as well yesterday. So it's just brewing up very nicely in the Championship on both levels, playoffs and relegation. Coventry and Portsmouth, Fat Frank's boys. Let's have a look. Very strong favourites today. And they are out of the playoffs now under Frank with 2 consecutive defeats, rather 3 defeats in 4 matches. I would suspect these defeats are coming against top sides. Burnley looks second, Sheffield United third, and Derby County in form at the bottom. Albeit loss and a draw now is keeping them hooked near Cardiff. Coventry with a win takes them into that all-important 60-point bracket with Borough playing yesterday, Bristol City playing yesterday. They know what they need to do. There's only realistically 2 places available for the playoffs, Bristol City and Middlesbrough, with Sunderland's gap starting to broaden between 4th and 5th. This makes this match a must-win. And I think, bearing in mind the 2 recent defeats have come against the top 3, this is an opportunity for Fat Frank to bounce back. Pompey, of course, need points themselves. So no losing trade yet for me in the tennis. I'll keep the examples coming on. Richard Gasquet, Frenchman in France, might take this to 3 sets, but he's not fancied by the market. I always look for the French flag. There's my friend Mr. Fils from yesterday. Arthur. All right, Arthur. How you doing, son? Yeah, I'm all right, son. I'm all right. Yeah. Elsewhere, odds on favourites. That's my first look. That's a pretty high odds for Alcaraz, suggesting the South American Kerendulu does like clay courts. Game on Fils got an against the odds win yesterday. Rublev is one of those players who can just fall apart mentally. Anger issues, the flame-haired Russian. So this, I think, could be one to take on Rublev if he leads in the first set. Just a personal opinion, and got the French flag, Monfils and Monte Carlo, looking to entertain the crowd. Casper Ruud and Bautista Agut. Bautista's going to keep him honest, that's for sure, on clay. Don't forget, Spanish South Americans, clay is very nice for them. Djokovic against Tabilo, making his debut today. De Minaur, I do like him. Old Hitler haircut, unless he's changed his... Yeah, there he is, Hitler haircut. Top 10 player, Macaque coming from behind yesterday in a 3-setter. I think De Minaur should not be losing 2-0 today if he does lose the first set. Daniil Medvedev and Muller. Again, we've got a Frenchman, so watch out. He might just overextend himself above the form that we're expecting with the crowd in tow. Have a great day today. This evening, well, I'm in two minds whether to get involved. It's a very small coupon. 3 matches there in the Championship and 2 in the Champions League. Highly likely I wouldn't be playing the Champions League. High profile one-off affairs. There's no weak link. These odds are far too short. So only 5 matches this evening. Doesn't make it likely that I will turn up this evening, but I do need to make money. And if I'm up and about, I think the Championship has some real hope this evening. But you saw the importance of insurance yesterday. So even if they're rock solid home favourite, if they're a goal down, insurance pays. You saw that with the 2 plays yesterday. Sheffield United and Bolton, both absolutely dominant, but couldn't score that goal. Insurance got us out of jail with a nice cherry on top with that Luton equaliser. So you might not be hearing from me this evening. Only 5 matches of importance. Thursday, I think it's a Europa League and Europa Conference League day on Thursday, and it's an 8 p.m. kick-off there. And then Friday we'll be returning. Crewe and Cheltenham as well. Friday we'll be returning to a pretty full coupon featuring the Irish and some Champions League type sides. Maybe not, no. Interesting Friday. Lens, odds on at home. AC Milan, Valencia and Sevilla, 2.3 the favourite. And we've got the Irish as well. Starting to pick up some trades in the Irish football. Got profitable trades last Friday. I decided not to have a day off last Friday because it's such a compelling coupon. Might be the case as well here. If Ireland is becoming readable, you've got a good chance. With Burnley and Norwich, that's a must win for Norwich, isn't it? It's a must take points off a top 3 side. Give yourself a shot at the playoffs. Viscountliga is returning. HJK Helsinki, not even odds on, suggesting SJK are fancied this season. French League 2 season brewing up nicely. Bundesliga 2 as well. Got the Dutch Eerste Divisie, 100% over 2.5 goals last time the Eerste Divisie was out. That's what we expect. Irish Premier Division, Irish First Division. Got some trades yesterday. Last week, Derry City. Similar odds last week. Conceded the first goal. Came back and won. Got involved with that one. Watch out for Shamrock Rovers as well. And it looks a tough one in the First Division. So I'm looking forward to Friday. Have a great day today. You might not be hearing from me, members of footballtradingprofits.com. And if you want to join, just click on the link over at the footballtradingprofits.com website or sign up for some Premier League research. Have a great day. I might see you later on this evening if I'm up and about, but it's only really a matter of 5 matches well within your capabilities, particularly with 2 of them in the Premier League, in the Champions League, unlikely to offer any trading angles.